Hello.
Hi there, it's Gavin
Hey,
Creel. How are you?
hey, Gavin. Thank you so much for making yourself so available. I really
Oh,
appreciate
my
it.
pleasure. I appreciate you talking late because my days get a little crazy, and I was like, if we can do it now, let's do it now.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's better for me at night. I'm such a night owl, so this is perfect. So, your show was so great, and I have not laughed so hard. Like the Savion Glover line, I was dying, dying. I was like, oh my God.
Could you imagine? And that didn't act. I was like, who is the greatest?
Yeah.
Like, if somebody was standing next to me, then I'd be like, what am I doing here? And I was like, let's do Savion Glover. It's so good.
Yeah, and like the wide-eyed awe from the second floor of the McDonald's, like that's so how I felt my first time in New York.
Yeah,
I loved it so much, and a bunch of
thank
my
you.
friends who went here in Westport went to your show at the Met because they saw your show here and they loved it, and I had a conflict, so I couldn't go in for that, which was a total bummer. But I'm sure it was
Oh,
just as spectacular. They said it was.
oh, that's very kind. It was a very different show. I mean, still me, but all original material, so it was very, very different.
Yeah.
But thank you for the. That's very kind of you to say. But I was really. I'd been building the. I guess I'd always had a dream of getting to do a special on PBS, and I never knew how those things happened. And I had seen friends of mine who had done them, and I never really went. I wasn't sure how that all happened, and I had a manager who was looking out for the opportunity at the time, and um, it was just a nice phone call to get, especially during such a dark time as the pandemic, to be like, hey, there's a thing coming up, and we'd like to see if you would be willing to be one of the guests, and we're taking it to the Westport Country Playhouse away from Lincoln Center, and I just thought, ooh, that sounds cool. So we'll be in an actual theater. We won't be. I mean, the Appel Room is so beautiful and so regal, and very New York. But I was really excited to be in an actual theater and such a legendary theater at that. An historic space.
Oh, that's great. I was gonna ask you, if you knew about the Playhouse, and um, obviously you,
Oh, so much
yeah,
history. I
yeah.
mean, the backstage. Well, I was there on the historic night that the entire basement flooded after our second show.
Oh, right,
It was
right,
epic. I was like, "Oh, it's the Titanic!" We
right.
looked down the hallway, and my guitar player. I mean, God was looking over us that night because we finished the second show, came downstairs. I went upstairs and talked to the VIP group for like 15 minutes. When I came back down to the basement, I look in the hallway and my guitar player goes, somebody, and I run down to the end of the hallway, and it looks like the blob, like black oil is just coming, water is oozing towards us down the hallway, and we went into this room, and it was gushing in from outside. All the computers were like sitting there in about easily like 8 inches of water, and it was getting higher and higher. We were like, oh, we gotta get out of here. This place is gonna blow. And thankfully it didn't, but the whole basement just flooded, and they somehow did Brandon's show the next day. So
Yeah.
I was really impressed with the Westport Country Playhouse.
I was there for that late your later show, and yeah, it was torrential downpour. Actually, driving home, um,
Oh,
I think
I had to stay at a hotel that night.
I bet I think it was
Yeah,
actually the worst conditions I've ever driven in my whole life. It was
yeah, me
crazy.
too.
I'm only
I
10
mean,
minutes away, but
every
it was
street I tried to turn down to get home was just a lake. It was flooded. There would be flashers and a cop car, and you're like, well, I can't go that way. And then eventually I just went, yeah, I gotta go to a hotel. And there was one point where I had to drive through. There was no way to get past this one point, and I just went, I'm going for it. And I just went through, and I was like, you're not supposed to do that because you don't know what's under there. And
right, right,
so,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Um,
all for the drama of music. So good.
so aside from the flood, is there another moment that stands out in your experience at the Playhouse or during your concert or
You know, I'm trying to think of a moment. I This is silly, but the sound check in the afternoon when we were getting camera shots, and I hadn't been on a stage in that way in so long, and we were just there, and it was the morning and the daytime that we're just the band's on stage, and it's a new band that we put together for this, and we're all still finding our legs together, and we're sitting there finding sounds and hitting drums and testing mic levels and fixing the monitors, and doing camera tests, and that whole experience felt so collaborative and joyful, and I was so relaxed in a way that I just felt um, I felt like I was able to take care of myself in a calm way, and I could take care of my band. And we were asked to do a lot of stuff very quickly and put some things together. And I just looked around the stage and I was like, we are all collaborating together in such a beautiful way that I just felt like I was in the pocket. I just felt, this is what I do. This is what I'm meant to do. And I felt at ease in a way that I hadn't felt in a very long time. And I'm proud to say that besides maybe the first 10 or 12 minutes of the first show, where I was like, whoa, there's people there. Whoa, there's cameras. Okay. But other than that, I really felt at ease up there, and I felt calm and excited to share the music that we were going to play. So, but yeah, I would say that soundcheck, that afternoon, putting it together was very exciting.
I love that. That gives me chills. And so many people in this industry have, well, hopefully by now, they've had that moment, even if it's the kids in school, like the kids here in our high school, finally putting on their first musical in 2 years, and like that feeling. And it's sort of that silver lining that we all appreciate it so much more. And sitting there watching those shows, I can't describe. I was so transported, like so completely in the moment for the entire show, and just everything fell away, all that. So, thank you, because
Well, I appreciate it. But I have to say, it happened again on Monday, and I was very proud of what I've written for the Met, and I hope to carry it on to Broadway. I hope to carry it on so I can tour it around the world and share this music. But I don't think we're going to be this. I don't think we're the same, or we ever will be. I think, like any major trauma in time, I mean, I lived through 9/11. I saw it all happen from my roof, and just like I know we move on, but we never forget it. It's part of us, and this is so. I mean, 9/11 was such an unbelievable tragedy, but I even think that even though it touched everyone's lives, you could be in the middle of America and your day was pretty much normal except for the tragedy that you were hearing play out in Washington, D.C. or New York. It felt far away. This thing went into our bedrooms, bathrooms, hearts, homes. Like, this thing touched every single human being on the planet, and you couldn't escape it. It was outside your door and inside your house. And the trauma that is, I just think the arts is the only way that's going to really bring us forward. And I felt that thing you felt of just like being transported. I think I will take the compliment, but I think it was all of us together having a collective sigh and relief and a release. And I think that's going to happen in the theater for the next decades. I think we don't even know the healing that we're about to have for the next decades. Yeah.
I love that. I want this to be a Gavin Creel feature story because this is beautiful.
You go right ahead.
Yeah, that.
I mean, I love getting to talk with journalists, and especially now, it's like something I've talked about a lot lately. Anything I'm afraid of, I'm walking directly towards, because the pain of these last 2 years, for me personally, is the most immense pain I've ever experienced, and I've had surgeries. Like, this has just been so horrible, and for some reason we're still breathing, and all I want to do is tell everyone about it. I just want to let go. No, it was not good, and no, I don't want to be plucky anymore and say like, but we got through it, everybody. I'm like, no, it was a goddamn nightmare. And we got through it. Both things can be true. And if you want to talk about it, I'll sit down and talk about it with you. I want to hear about it. And we don't have to be okay. We can actually just sit with it. And if it sneaks up on us 2 decades from now, come sit next to me. I'll sing you a song.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about what it meant to be in, that you dreamed of being in a PBS special, which is great. But yeah, I mean,
Yes,
did you watch the PBS
yes,
as a
yes.
kid? Like, was that your?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I watched Channel 13 at my, no, 13 was NBC. Was it Channel 11? No, that was CBS. No, it was Channel 3, I think. I can't remember at home. In Findlay, Ohio, I watched the Sondheim celebration at Carnegie Hall, 1991, that Susan Stroman and Scott Ellis put together. That was the definitive moment that I was like, I want to do this for a living. Sutton Foster and I bonded over the same 2 minutes and 40-some seconds of Patti LuPone singing Being Alive at that concert was the reason why we were like, I'm doing that. I want to be her. We both wanted to be her, only I'm a man and she's a woman. But that was PBS. I remember watching Sweeney Todd and great performances, and I remember watching orchestra concerts and the Pops, and I remember seeing I mean, I grew up PBS. I grew up with Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, and everything like that, teaching me how to be a human being and how to be kind and sympathetic and empathetic. But then see performances on television, which it's not that theater. The internet has changed the way people digest and get access to musical theater and theater, and that's exciting. It was scary at first to me, but now it's exciting because I think we're reaching a lot more young people and people in general. But without the internet before, PBS was kind of the way I saw it, unless I was going to go to the Hancock County Public Library and go through the VHS tapes. It was PBS was the one that was putting them on, and there weren't that many. But I remember seeing, I don't remember specifically it was PBS, but I watched Into the Woods, and I watched Park with George, and I watched Sweeney Todd, and I watched Sondheim concerts, and I watched a lot of orchestra concerts, and it just felt like I got a glimpse of something that was felt so far away, but because of PBS, it was brought close to me in Findlay, Ohio. And again, there was no internet, so I didn't have the access the way that we do now. And I'm forever grateful for public broadcasting.
Last question: what was it like working with Andrew Wilk?
Oh my gosh, you are clear as a bell now. You're not the whole time you've been cutting in and out. I just haven't said anything, but you are like. I feel like you're sitting next to me on the couch.
Oh no, I'm sorry I was cutting out the whole time.
You sound great. Andrew is fastidious and on it and blocking the camera shots, and he's the expert. There was so much stuff that he would ask about that I was like, dude, I don't know. What do you want? I don't know what you want me to tell you. He'd be like, what are you going to say? Where are you going to go? I was like, I don't think you've ever seen one of my shows. I usually am a lot less planned than I was for the PBS show. I always say I want my concerts to be like you're in a living room and I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm just singing some songs. I want you to feel like you know me. And I hope I was able to translate that in this show. But the way that he understood all that stuff that I don't understand, I still don't, and I don't want to understand, the camera shots and the terminology and knowing what needs to be said and where people can be and where the bass player needs to be and the drummer and lighting and all that. I just was like, dude, you drive that car and I'm going to show up. And he there were a couple times where I was like, I'm not sure if we're on the same page, if I'm totally honest. And then I got to the place and that was one of the reasons why the rehearsal was so joyful. Because he's like, yeah, just do it again. See it again. I got what I need. And then before the show, he was like, go out there and have fun. And I did. And I'm really proud with what Andrew and I put together. I don't know if you were able to see a rough cut or anything like that yet. Have you been able to see
Yeah,
anything?
I was over at Andrew's today and watched some of it. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I was like, I have to see that whole New York part and the dance callback part over again. So we watched all of it. It's fantastic. So great.
Oh, good. So my big credit to him is he showed me a rough cut and I was tough. I was like, because originally I was like, I don't know what to sing. And I was like, no, you're not doing that anymore. You want to have your eyes on whatever's going to go out. Because before I used to just be like, you just make it and do it. And I had like a big list of notes. And I said, and he came back and said, I don't know if I can be able to do all these. I said, okay, I'm prioritizing, but you have to do these 4 of the 13 that I sent. And I think they almost did all 13 anyway. But he honored me and he listened. And I said, this really, this lead in here is incomplete, and if you don't complete it, it doesn't make sense. The song doesn't make sense. Please, okay, but we can't have a lot of talking. I said, then cut the entire intro to this song. And he goes, are you sure? Because I'm going to cut that whole thing. I really like the intro to the song. I said, I'd rather buy it so that you can understand better who Nancy Glick is, and you can understand better who the roommate was for the. And he did it, and it makes sense now. Like the setup of the whole, because that's like a 9-minute sequence, another 100 people, where I tell the story and sing the stories. And he did it, and then he took the part that he needed, and I was like, that's fine, I'll just sing the song. And then he added a couple other little encore moments in that he did a great job. He really did. He edited together something beautiful. We're in the sound mixing stages now, so they're going to fix some tuning issues and some balance stuff and make it all sound fatter and rounder. And that's I've learned. It's really easy as a performer to get controlly and hold on tight to things. And there are certain things that I go to bat for. I'm like, no, that has to stay, or we have to put that in, or you need to listen to me. But then there's just some stuff that I'm like, these are the experts. Let them do their job. They're going to do this so much better. And if you just played it for me, I might be like, oh, I wish I'd done this different, or this different, or I prefer that shot to this shot. But he had so many shots that he picked from, and I was like, just show me what you think is the end, and I'll just watch that. And that's what we did.
Yeah, he was talking today about the stories, and that people don't like that much talking, so they have to cut some out. And I was like, oh my God, the stories are what I love. That's why I love this kind of concert.
I'm with you. He said that to me, and I was like, for me, for the shows that I do, that's why people respond, is the setup and the stories. And I personally, I'm sure he's looking at ratings, that people click away when you start talking, and I go, then screw him.
Yeah.
Click away. If we lose what we were talking about, he's like, Gavin, it's so much talking before another 100 people. I said, Andrew, you got to make sense of the story. That's like 7 or 8 songs in. If they click away at that point, I've lost them.
Yeah.
They're either gone or they're in. And at this point, we've earned the chance to talk. And he heard me, and I'm really proud. It made sense to you when you saw it, right? When you saw.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah.
With the edit, like the setup to the song.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really proud of. I literally told him, I said, Andrew, of all of the things that we recorded in the show, of the 59 or 56 minutes, or whatever the show is, the reason I wanted to be on PBS to tape it is for that one song, because that song is my life. Like, standing on that stage to tell the story in that way that's my proudest moment in the show, because it encapsulates who I was, who I wanted to be, and who I became, all in one song. And it takes ownership of my life and this industry, and that those 3 songs back to back, that it goes another 100 people into I Have Confidence, into What Do I Need With Love. It's like basically the beginning, the getting of the job, and then the celebration of my first Broadway show. I'm so proud of this show, and I'm so excited for people to see it.
That's what I said when we started watching. I said, Andrew, take me to that's the heart of it. That's what I wanted to watch. I'm
so glad. I'm so glad you said that. That means the world to me. Thank you.
I mean, it's epic. It's epic. I mean, it probably, since I have some kids who are doing this, I could very much relate to a lot of it. But
you have a freshman in Michigan.
Yes. So Jamie, he is a freshman musical theater at Michigan, and he's having so much fun that he really doesn't call me back. And I'm going to text him tonight. I'm going to say, I just got off the phone with Gavin Creel, and he's going to be like, what?
Wait, tell me his full name again.
Jamie Mann.
Does he have black curly hair?
No, he's got blonde hair, a lot of it. Professionally goes by Jamie Martin Mann.
Because I met the freshman class. We did a little talk with the incoming freshman.
Oh.
And I'm sure I saw him on it.
Yeah. Yes, because he was so excited that you were on it.
Well, at the end of the interview, do a 3-way call and we can say hi. You can get him on the phone.
Oh my gosh, he would die.
Yeah, let's do it. We don't have to be done. Are we done?
Yeah, no, I think we are.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about or ask? I'm happy to.
I mean, I would love to just talk to you, but as far as the article goes, this is awesome.
Put me on hold. Get Jamie on. Don't tell him, and then just bring me back, and you'll be like, "Oh, I've got somebody on the line," and don't tell him it's me, and we'll say hi.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, try. Hello.
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's up?
I think we're all on. Jamie.
Hi.
Jamie.
Hi.
Jamie.
Is
Someone.
Is this Jamie Martin Mann? It sure is. Do you know who this is? I think I do. I think based off of my mom's text from like 30 minutes ago. How are you? It's cool. Great talking to you. Yeah, it's fun. Are you hanging in? We're hanging in. Funnily enough, we tried to get McDonald's tonight in Ann Arbor, and then we ended up getting kicked out of the drive-thru line, and now we're walking around at Kroger's doing last-minute grocery shopping. So, you tried to walk through the drive-thru line? Yeah, which usually works, but apparently they're not letting us do that, even though we'd already ordered, and it's too bad. But that's what we like to call the Michigan difference, I think. Nice. I think that's the Michigan difference. That's good. That's good. Jamie, your mom and I just had a great talk about show business. That's wonderful. She's very fun to talk to, I must admit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, although you never answer the phone when I call you, so from now on, anytime I'm going to call you, I'm just going to text and say, "Hey, I'm talking to Gavin Creel tonight," and then you're going to answer.
Yeah, just give me a holler when you can get Jamie on the phone. No, I'll drop everything for that, honestly.
So Jamie was already at school by the time these concerts happened at the Playhouse, but I told him how epic. Andrew was trying to get Jamie to start Michigan late so he could see the concerts. I was like, Andrew, I don't think that's actually gonna work.
Yeah, I could not miss seeing your entrance, but I literally. Well, I was so close to coming back because Dominic Dorset is playing in your band, and I saw on his Instagram story that he was in Westport, and I was like, that is insane! Like, that's so cool. He did. Did he do the entrance? He did entrance before or after? He must have done it before. Yes, it was. Before. It was before. Yeah. Right before. Yeah, because he did it, and then he found out that he got into Wild Party the evening of our concert. Yes. Oh my God, he was so good in Wild Party. He wasn't great. Yeah, he was like, I got in. Your voice reminds me so much of Jonathan Groff. Like, I feel like I'm talking to Jonathan Groff right now. You know what's so funny? There's a kid in our class who sounds exactly like Jonathan Groff. Like, even like way more than I do. He sounds literally the exact same, and I tell him that every single time he sings because it's like uncanny. We were watching Frozen 2 last night, and I was like, "That's my friend Nick." It's crazy. What's Nick's last name? Nick Aiello. Oh yeah, I know Nick. I met Nick on he was I did a call with him. He's from California, right? Yes. Yeah. He's amazing. He's so great. And when I met him for the first time, I was like, you sound exactly like Jonathan Groff. That is crazy. There you go. Jamie, I'm going to be coming out to Michigan in a few days for a little stretch, so maybe I'll say hi to you in person. Please do. We'd love that.
Oh no way. We're going to be there for Parents Weekend this coming weekend.
Wait, that's amazing. Is it it's the 5th? Is it the 5th, 6th, 7th? That kind of weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting in on the 5th. That's perfect. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'll be awesome. Yeah. Well, I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt your Kroger time. No, I'm so sorry. I know how important Kroger time is, but yeah. I don't know. I told Michael I want to come and observe classes. I want to watch the professors just because. Yes, please. I want to bone up on my teaching and stuff. So I'm just going to come watch and talk and hopefully meet as many people as I can. So I'll see you when I get there. Absolutely. I can't wait to meet you. Look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gavin. That was amazing, amazing talking to you. And Jamie will be watching the PBS concert, and I'll be watching it over and over. And
Awesome.
Keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing.
I will
for
have
the
one
world.
at Parents Weekend. Maybe I'll see you on campus somewhere. But if not, I'll definitely see you, Jamie.
Yeah, just look for us in the big house. You'll be able to find us.
There must be a game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturdays?
Yeah, I think we're playing Indiana.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Awesome. Do you go to the games?
Sometimes like to pretend. Yeah, we like to show up and pretend we know what's going on, and then cheer when people cheer and boo when people boo, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was clueless. I think I went to more games. In 2016, I went and taught a class for 6 weeks, and I went to more games in those 6 weeks than I did in my entire college career, because I was like, my parents got me the tickets my freshman year, and then I sold them all to like jocks, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the rehearsal room.
Literally, yeah. I feel like you can get a lot of money for them too.
Oh yeah.
People are always sending them back and forth. It's such a fun game. But it's great to talk to you.
You too.
Can't wait to meet you this week.
Yeah.
Like soon. That's insane. Sorry that I'm in frickin' Kroger.
No, it's perfect.
Bad timing, but it's great.
It's the best place to be.
It honestly is. Yeah. What do you think with the Bursley Dining Hall, frankly?
Oh, I got a fondness for it. Lots of Captain Crunch was eaten there.
yes, lots of Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's great talking to you. I'll see you soon.
Too. Be well. Both of you, take care.
Thanks, Gavin.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks so much. Talk to you
Bye.
soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.